Good morning, beautiful ladies, wonderful gents. Good afternoon, good evening. Once again, however you are seeing this, it's a beautiful day outside. The sun is out. I'm looking out there. It's blue, no clouds in the air. It's a glorious day, folks. How are you doing? We got Icy Don in the house, aka Don M, the FDMG Boogieman. And we got the countdown. What's today's date? Today's I think the third, right? Today's the third. So if today's the third, we got about like 27 more days to go before we go sit down in these people's courthouse and let them dictate the flow of destiny. As they dictate the flow of destiny, there's a lot of things that's going on. And like I say with this topic, it's proof that the state of Delaware don't want Umar FDMG to exist. Technically, it's not really a good topic, to be honest. But it's something I will discuss. But it's something that I need you all to understand because when you are a person who want to scream Black Power and in times of 2022, and you want to scream Black Power in the way that you're screaming it, because it was no problem when they were screaming Black Lives Matter. It was issues. Yes, it was definitely huge issues. It was huge issues when they was taking the knee. But when you come into a people's city, a state, a town, and you come in so revolutionized as an individual, you will definitely be met with, and it's only, to be honest, respected. As you know what I'm saying, as I really think about it. Like I said, this is going to be a real touchy topic because as I speak, it's going might be sound like I'm going and like might sound like I'm like contradicting myself or being a hypocrite, but I want y'all to understand what the reality of this world is when it comes to land, territory. Do y'all remember when we was in school and they used those words territory? And you know what I'm saying? So when you look at territory, you as an individual running up and down on these YouTube streets, and I told you many times you're cooling and you setting yourself up for a different type of stage that you don't want. When you could have been moving incognito, now you done went to Broad Street. But Broad Street already knew that they didn't want this. Before all this YouTube shit, when you start filing the paperwork, it was already no because we already have plans for that location. So when you get the money up and you go grab it, and you screaming and shouting that you want some more independent, you building this, I. There is a lot of things that for protection of territory because they have plans for their own territory. You are a guest, you're an immigrant to their lands, you're an intruder when you look at it. And the way you move as an intruder. And so we got some proof. And I just can't wait. I want to, let maybe like 12 minutes go before I go into some of this proof. I want to set the stage up. So when you go out there and you go on Broadway and you do this crazy shit, yes, you will be met with some type of gatekeepers. Yes, that comes with the territory. In the 60s they had the problem and they came together and they fought against the problem. In the 2000s you are having the problem and we are still having the problem because we have not come together and solved our problem. I want to say fix our problem, but solved our problems. And because we haven't solved the problems, yeah, there's going to be proof that the state and all states are going to have a problem with the FDMG. And so this is proof. And I would like to give a shout out to make a change for this video. You know, I think I'm gonna do a little pause and go and get my speaker. You know what I'm saying? I think I want to go get my speaker so I can have my mic because I want to talk by mic. Give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna go get my mic. Forgive me, folks. I'm gonna go get. Let me type that in text. Going to. Hopefully it works. First time I'm using. Get my mic. I've been telling you folks for a long time. I said just like this. I said, listen, man, as long as he can keep this right here, especially just between him and I, he was good. He still could have been moving through those little holes that he was trying to squeeze through as a little rat, and he could have fat rat. You know what I'm saying? He could squeeze through those holes, and he could have made it through safely. But once he went against the blessings that he was given, you can see how the cookie just crumbled. And I have proof how the cookie crumbled. And it's not, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not about the state of Delaware. It's the state of humanity that don't want FDMG, or just don't want this type of people, building. And it's going to be proof in his own words, and in everything that he's been going through is proof that it needs change. And the person needs to sit back and understand that you must make a certain type of change if you want anything to go in progression. If you don't want progression, then you continue to be as you are. And you continue to allow the court case to go through. You continue to fight and resist the cease and desist. You keep resisting everything, and you keep rebelling against everything in the manner that you are doing. And that's because you're not doing it with the right love and unity with your own people. And that's the problem. That's why it is a problem against you. You created the problem. And so when these people go and they look and see your rhetoric, they see what you're talking about, they see what you're about, they say, yo, it's a known fact we don't need this. So it's not like no conspiracy or it's no anything like that. It's just a known fact that this type of behavior is not needed. And so it's important for you to realize that. So, what do I want to do? How do I run down and get this and set it up where you guys still can be entertained? So let me see. Shout out to this old video, because I never really be seeing too many videos. I don't go check so many videos. I ain't gonna lie to you folks. But something told me I was driving and Make a Change came to my mind. And I said, well, Make a Change he's been about the only one that has been touching this topic, poking at it. You know what I'm saying? Make a Change has been poking at it. This whole saga. He's been everybody's been at this Umar situation, but Make a Change has been poking at it. Like I said, Make a Change was the donation, the $15 donation that actually made Lord Jamal ask the question. You know what I'm saying? So Make a Change, I'm going to give a shout out to you. I'm going to actually use your clip in your video, because in here you was making a point on one thing, but I said way back a year or two ago that this was going to happen. And as you are relaying and making a point about one thing, I see the bigger point with what I was saying, and it's proof in it. And like I say, it's not no conspiracy against them. It's just what it is. When you have the city against you, when you have your own people against you, when you have black contractors against you. So how are you going to point one finger one way, and as you are pointing the finger the other way, not see that if it goes full circle to you, because you was like monkey in the middle. And so that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? So like I say, it's not necessarily about they really congregating and saying, yo, we're gonna filibuster this school. It's more so about like, yo, what the hell is going on? Look at how his people is reacting to it. It's like you Kanye West, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, what's going on? He's for the people, but he's for his people, but his people not even really for him. So do you think we want this shit? What's this coming across our paper? What's this coming across our media? What? What's this coming across our what? Another one? What the? No. So you gotta understand that the stage has really been set up, and like I say, no matter what, even if that school opens up, the saga will continue, because you open up a door where there's a lot of, like I told you, you got demons around you. So now you got to open up the door where all the demons is at right now, because it's make or break time. This right now, the last 27 days going into the year 2023, it's going to be make or break time. And if you think you have problems before, as I'm going to prove that this man has some serious problems, you can hear in his voice, you can hear the defeat in him, you can hear it. And I ain't here tearing nothing down. I'm here really bringing the point because I'm setting the stage up that it's very important that when I go to court, I get full restitution. I get everything I deserve because not of karma, but what he's reaping, what he sowed. Where we go with this? Let's see. Let's go to this clip. But like I said, I want to run downstairs. And I want to get my mic because I want to try it out today. You feel me? So I'm gonna go to this right here. This is from Make a Change clip. This was sometime last year, I believe, as he gathered a lot of information, put stuff together. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did. He put stuff together, and Make a Change. He comes and tapped in and listen to my lives. He's been tapping in for a long time, and I know he be hearing intel, some things I say. Of course, he refers in his content. It's not like he don't. That's why respect to him in a way. You know what I'm saying? Because no talk is no talk. You know what I'm saying? Some talk is good talk. You know what I'm saying? At least you got some talk. If it's bad talk, it's bad talk. But yet and still, your name's being mentioned. That's how Umar's been moving. But with this situation, as long as he's talking about it, it keep you fresh in your mind. So the whole thing is with this clip right here. The breakdown is good for me to use for this content because, like I said, this is over a year ago. He's been paying attention. He's been, hearing what I've been saying. He's been putting things together, investigating, and he's using facts. And the facts that he came up with to prove that it's a mess, I'm going to let you know how deep the mess is, how messy the mess is. You know what I'm saying? It's really messy. It's very messy. It's so messy that when I really break down this video, because it needs to be broken down in the right perspective, you guys going to understand that everything I've been saying, Make a Change, going to be basically vouching. But then as Make a Change goes, because he goes deep, Make a Change is that Mr. McGee to build. This is funny. I apologize, but you want to know what breakfast look like now? Because of doing live? That's what my breakfast look like. I had to run downstairs because I smelled something. It was really crazy. And so when I smelled it, I was like, what's going on? And I realized it was my food. My bad, folks. But it allowed me to run downstairs and get the speaker, which I forgot bringing the food up. So yes, let's get the sound right. Let's get this sound right. You know what I'm saying? Let's get my sound right. I'm late because I've had to ride all the way across town because they closed down one of my shops that I get my products from. So now I have to go maybe like another 15 minutes out, which is a long time when you're moving late. So now I got me my speaker because, like I said, I want to go into this make a change video. Once again, brand new. First time I open it. Oh no, this is the speaker stand. So I got this to stand. I ain't got time for the stand. Oh boy. Do I need batteries for this shit or what? Nope. Well, folks, let's go into this video so you guys can listen while I play with this, okay? Let's listen to this video. How about that? Let's go. Where's it at? Right here. Let's go back real quick. Now, I'm going to start right here because right here is when he says something, okay? He's going to say something. I'm going to actually take this off the screen. Just maybe have just the audio. But right in this part right here is when he's going to say there's some conspiracy. Then I'm just going to rewind for you, okay? I just want him to say this right here.
All of the white tradesmen heard back from a white HVAC, never heard back from them. White electricians never heard back from them. So I believe, brothers and sisters, that some sort of communication went out to all of the white tradesmen to not accept any work on the school. I believe.
Okay. Now in 2020, I was telling the folks that I did not want to go to court because of a certain situation. Now, whether this video was before me, which I know it was, okay, because when I came there, he was talking to me about some things in regards to the black um, contractors, and then he said he had to go deal with white contractors. You know what I'm saying? Now, as I'm listening, because I don't listen to videos, so now as I'm listening to the video and listening to very carefully to the video, I can relate everything that he was telling me into this video. Like I said, it was before me, and because this video was before me, now I can see as this video, because this video has before and after me footage. So you got footage from before me in the FDMG, then you got footage of me after the FDMG. Okay, and so I want you to see how the whole timeline of this FDMG establishment is, where it's going. Where it's going. See, it's not at the completion, it's where it's going. So you heard what he just said right there. That was the beginning and that's the end. Understand what I'm saying? So if he said this before me and that's the beginning, and I'm telling you, as we go into court, it's so as it is in the end, this man is going to have a lot of roadblocks. We're going to listen. Okay, let's go. Let's get into this video. Like I said, I want to see if I want to just play the video or the audio and see if I can remove from the screen. Let me see if I can remove, but just play the audio. Let's see if I can do that.
Because there's no way that every single white contractor that came to look at the school never responded to me. None of them ever responded to me. Not a single one. They came out, and then once they learned who I was and what the school was, I never heard back from them. You're talking about 1 to 2.
Can someone tell me if you can hear? Because I'm trying to learn if I'm doing it right.
Seems to be something systematic going on with them.
So if we are to believe him, he's saying none of the white contractors.
I got to remove some tar from my food.
Dozen contractors. So 12 to 24 white contractors don't want to work with him. I find that interesting and hard to believe, and here's why. Between my personal home and my rental properties, I have.
Do you hear me on this video? Do you hear the video? Because as Make a Stream is trying to make his point in regards to, he's comparing himself with Umar Johnson and the renovation that he did at his home as opposed to renovation of a Pan-African school. You're not going to come up with that type of resistance that this man will come up with. It's a different type of ball game, homeboy. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Your comparison, I feel you, because, you know, that's what people will try to do to get people, you know, to see it in their vision. But like I say, once you know what the root of this shit is, you can't really compare yourself to him. You gave a comparison, but you really can't, because like I say, this is a different ball game, different individual, different league. This is A side. You know what I'm saying? You talk about B work, C work. This is A side. He's on the A side, meaning that he's on the radar. You just as a black man, you know what I'm saying? You as a customer, consumer now in the 2020s and 2000s, now everybody gonna get that bread in the best way possible right about now. But when it's something bigger than your bread, and it's about territory, and it's about power, and how their lives matter, nah, homeboy, you gonna have a certain type of resistance. And so when you talk about infrastructure, their infrastructure is different. You know what I'm saying? We don't know nothing about this type of infrastructure because we don't have it unless we part of some type of secret society, unless we part of like a sorority or fraternity, some shit like that. And if you part of that, then you understand. But most average people don't really understand about that type of infrastructure. They only know it like if they're part of a gang, if they, you know, want to be part of the culture, culture. I mean, the cancel culture, but that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's on the infrastructure. So let me know if you can, you know, want to let me know if they can hear this video. Like I say, I want to just take it off the screen, but I'm going to put it back on screen. All right, so let's add it back to the screen. And let's go back to this video. Okay, because like I said, this video is very important. But I'm gonna leave that and come back to that because I want to skim down to what he say about the black people, because I'm going to get both all sides. Okay, so let's go down, because he also mentioned something about the volunteering part, like homeboy, that's the problem.
contractors in general, reputable contractors around the state of Delaware and throughout the West Coast, excuse me, throughout the East Coast and the Midwest, and even around the country, of course, would have to come and get certified and licensed in the state of Delaware as well as in the city of Wilmington to do the work, but having waited, 8 months to get black contractors to do the work because we want to keep the money in black hands as much as possible because it is black money that purchased the school. And I do want to thank all of the donors who helped us raise the money to purchase the school, but we have not been successful finding a group of black tradesmen and women who we feel could get this job done, get the job done in a timely fashion, get the job done with a level of quality that will allow license and inspections to improve that work, approve that work, and grant us our certificate of occupancy. So, as you know, when you're dealing with commercial contractual work, there's levels to it, there's permits that have to be pulled, there's inspections that have to be taking place. And I've had brothers come over to do the work, but they don't have the paperwork, they don't have the licenses and the certifications to do that. That has been a hang up. And so we're just moving forward. I do get.
Yo, folks, do you see everything that he's laying out? But in 2017, right? 2018, in 2019, and 2020. I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna go back a year. From time of him me meeting him in December of 2016. I met him in 2016. He told me about this school out there in Delaware. Okay, he told me about the price. He told me 750,000 he had. He told me about it. He said it's the cheapest school. He told me need renovations. So if you knew that you had the bread, if you knew that you had your eye on the school, can you tell me why you wasn't really strategizing then in regards to getting some people from city to city where you had a resume of HVAC, plumbers, and so on and so forth? Why is it at this point in 2021 and 2022, you're still talking about issues that you should have been already having a line? You're supposed to be already having a suitcase, a tub of applications. And that's physical paperwork, you know what I'm saying? But you should have emails and emails and emails and emails and emails of contractors from Florida saying, yo, bring the school out here, I'm a contractor. From Philly, I'm a contractor. From New Jersey, I'm a contractor. From Delaware, I'm a contractor. From Delaware, I'm a contractor. From Delaware, I'm a contractor. Especially from Delaware because you knew you was going to Delaware. So my question is like, yo, how in the world in 2021 you're having this issue with finding certified anybody? So let's just say I'm really like going too hard. 2017 comes in and 2018 comes in. You still know you have the money. Why are you not doing your lives 1,000% on? Why are you not doing your recruiting 100% on? Why are you not putting your focus 100% on staff building? And not giving a flying F if it's from Chicago, not caring if it's from Canada, not caring if it's coming from Florida, California, Wisconsin, Montana. Why you wasn't building for staff building all of the year of 2018? How hard would it have been to just do major recruiting for staff? And I know you have been doing it. And everybody's saying he was, right? He was. He's taking resumes for teachers, right? My question is, why are you saying this right now? Let me go back to this.
Inquiries from black uh, construction brothers and sisters in construction on a regular basis, and we continue to vet them, have them walk through the school, see what they can do, Nothing has yielded fruit at this time, and I don't want to continue to wait because we waited long enough. So now I am going to start looking at non-active sources of labor as well to get this work done on the school. So that's where we are.
Umar, what happened to this black contractor?
Black.
So, why is it that at this point you still having issues with contractors? Why is it that your electricians is no longer there? Let's find that footage. I suppose I had it lined up. Let's see if this is it.
Remembers the cleanup day back in 2019.
Peace and love.
In the email Umar Johnson sent to the electrical contractor that was working on the property, he said, and I am paraphrasing, "Our independent electrical engineering and inspection team completed their assessment this past week. The electrical room was rebuilt well. However, they saw little evidence of new wiring being run throughout the building. Beyond the electrical room, there wasn't much evidence of new work being done, aside from the lights being switched on. The independent electrical team had trouble comprehending the need for $160,000 in electrical repair for 3 buildings. They determined that the $64,000 that was already distributed to you was not totally spent in repairs, material, and manpower. I have relayed this information to our board, who have determined that our contract with your company is to be suspended immediately." So he's saying he's having a hard time finding people to do the work, but he has an independent electrical engineering and inspection team. Also, based on the $64,000 that was already distributed to you was not totally spent in
What
repairs,
happened?
material, and manpower. I have relayed this information to our board, who have determined that our
Did he just say he relayed that message to the board? Huh? So he said he relayed the message to the board. And that's where the issue is. So if he relayed that message to his board and his board came up with the conclusion that they need to terminate those individuals who's working diligently on that job. And now I called Umar several times. I called him maybe like once or twice and let him know, like, yo, why I pull up, walking up on the block right now. I'm coming on the block and I see him sitting in the van. They ain't doing shit. What's going on with that? And then he was telling me, well, the union contractors, they get certain type of breaks. So I was like, oh, okay. Then they go back in there, they working on that work. Like I said, they got the lights on, they got all 3 panels up. And so for the board who never ever been in that school, never seen these men ever, never seen them work, to just say we're gonna cancel this black contractor's job, it's like, why? Let's see. What in the hell is going on? Now, like I say, I told you that he has a cast of people that's around him. So he said the board came up with the conclusion that they were going to terminate that. So I told you that he has a cast of people that's around him that are demons, and they probably don't even know they are being possessed, but maybe they do know they are possessed, but they are demons. And it has to be proven, because how is these type of choices being made? And he said the board. He said the BOARD, not BORED. He said BOARD. The board came up with this conclusion that what? Let's repeat that. Shout out to Make a Change. Fucking crazy.
contract with your company is to be suspended immediately. So he's saying he's having a hard time finding people to do the work, but he has an independent electrical engineering and inspection team. Also, based on the information provided by the electrical contractor, the price was discussed. So why would Umar have a problem with the price after the job had already started? Here's what I think. Umar.
Now, before I let this guy say what he think, before I let him say what he think, if he would have been listening to me in 2020 when he started really getting into the story, he would have heard everything that was said about that incident with me on that block. Okay, now I'm gonna let him say what he thinks, and then I'm gonna tell him what I think. Okay, let's hear what Make a Change thinks. Make a change.
Umar suspended the electrical work because he got what he wanted out of this transaction. Let me explain. Most of the progress, or what appears to be progress, seems to have been prompted / influenced by the critics, or what Umar Johnson calls haters, rather than a plan by Umar to get these properties into operation as a functioning school. We can start with the purchase of the property, but I'll leave that for a separate video. So let's start with the taxes. Umar Johnson knew he would have to pay taxes on this property. Here he is in June of 2019, giving some people a tour of the property, and he tells them he has to pay taxes on the property.
This is it. Flat out, that's what's up. Taxes. Yeah.
So that's what he thinks. And that's what he and others put out there, and that becomes facts to their viewers. And y'all build off of that. And y'all build your whole world off of that. Of the reason why Umar Johnson got rid of the contractors. Because he didn't want the electricity in the first place. Let me hear that again. That threw me off, and I could change this one. Because when I was following the video, and then I heard that, I was like, huh? Oh, no, man.
But I'll leave that for a separate video. So let's start with the taxes. Umar Johnson knew he would have to pay taxes on this property. Here he is in June of 2019, giving some tax for the problem with the price after the job had already started. Here is what I think. Umar suspended the electrical work because he got what he wanted out of this transaction. Let me explain. Most of the progress, or what appears to be progress, seems to have been prompted / influenced by the critics, or what Umar Johnson calls haters, rather than a plan by Umar to get these properties into operation as a functioning school. We can start with the purchase of the property, but I'll leave that for a separate video. So let's start with the taxes. Umar Johnson knew he would have to pay taxes on this property. Here he is in June of 2019, giving some people a tour of the property, and he tells them he has to pay taxes on the property.
This is it. Flat out, that's what's up.
We gotta pay
Taxes.
We're
Yeah.
doing the tax bill. We have to do a fundraiser for the tax bill. In fact, the cookout might be the tax bill.
Hey.
But he did not address the unpaid taxes until people started making videos showing the taxes had not been paid. And videos about the unpaid taxes became a topic.
Now, when you have white media viewing black media and hearing what black media is talking about and seeing how they investigating stuff, and they start investigating stuff, and they start following that narrative of this, the reason why, you know what I'm saying? That's when, you know, I say, nah, we don't, I don't deal with that. Okay, I don't deal with that, bro. It's deeper than that. It's more simple than that. The electricians was on the block the day that I went up there to return the key and get my money and cash out. Okay, I'm trying to tell y'all. Okay, the electricians was there. They was at the school. They know what went on. Prior to all that went on, the electricians was nervous that they wasn't going to get paid. Now, like I say, before that took place in the block, maybe like 5 days or 6 days ago, they was in conversation. I was in conversation with the main person, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, he said, I checked your boy out on YouTube." And he just came up to me and he was like, "Yeah, I checked your boy on YouTube." He said, "Yo, they be going at him." We had a conversation. He said, "Yeah, man, you know, that's why he's doing the job. You know, saying he's trying to get it done for him." He said, "But you know, things is, you know, the way everything is, you know, he gotta keep checking, because he said, you sure he gonna pay me? You sure we gonna get paid?" I said, "Nah, y'all gonna get paid, man. You good? Don't believe the hype, man. Just don't believe the hype." And if I'm not mistaken, that was the day that the roofer guy came. And I think we all three was talking briefly, because the roofer was checking something out that day, I believe. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, 100%, because we was having a conversation all together. All right. I'm like 89% sure that went down. And we said, nah, you good. And so he was already leery at that point. And so when Umar wasn't around and he wasn't answering this man's conversation, he wasn't answering this man's phone calls, he wasn't answering this man's, he was emailing. He said, he showed me an email. He said, y'all sent him an email. He didn't even respond. Like I said, I was sitting waiting for my money, and now they knew I was sitting back waiting for my money. And so now they sent back like, yo, well, right now, there's nothing that we can do with this right here. So I got these guys here. They still gonna be doing, pulling the wires through and setting and getting the sockets together. But we can't do this socket right here. We can't do this. We can't do this until this gets taken place. So those things that was in place that they couldn't do, that was until certain things took place. Excuse me. And that's from his words, the boss. He said in the meantime, he had a job at this fire station. It was a big job, maybe like $70,000 job. And he was at another school working on another job there. So he was at a school. He said he was at another school, and he just started the firehouse, and he had to work from the street all the way to into the firehouse because it was an old firehouse. So he was working from the streets. So it wasn't no bootleg contractor folks. They had to dig in the streets and they had to work from the streets into the school, into the firehouse, because there was this giant cable underneath it that they had to deal with. So he was at the fire station, at the school, and then they was dealing with the FDMG, but the FDMG with the bullshit. And then he's like, "There's too much shit online with this guy. Like, what's going on?" So when that whole thing took place at this block on the block with me, and Umar called the cops. You think that Umar went to the building, he was just all calm? You don't think that he was talking all heated and talking that rah talk around these guys, and they looking at him real side was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And they not probably even saying much. I don't know what the conversation that could have been with them. I don't know what the difference could have been on that block that day. I don't know what these guys could have said. But just saying that the boy came up with this decision, I don't believe it, because I know this much. The beef between me and Umar was the fact that I brought something to his attention about a worker. So if these guys brought anything to this man's attention about me, now they hate us, and now he's against them. Because when I brought to attention about the painters not, performing, 100% properly, because the painters was more so Uncle Tom and him ass kissing him like he's master. He was like, "Nah, D man, nah, they good. It's you bugging." And so when these guys probably came, he's like, "Yo, we watched this guy do what the hell?" You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Nah, y'all at his defense, or y'all against me." And so that's the attitude. It's beyond the board. It was just him. It's how he presented it to the board to make the board say, "Nah, we don't need them." But Umar knows what it was. Those are men that on that block. One guy was white. It was three guys. One, two. Because you had the boss man who was black. Then you had another guy who was black, Spanish, but I think black. Then you had a white guy. That was only three people that was working that job. It was three people. And then the boss guy would leave, and he would leave just those other two, the white guy and the other guy. And they was coming there every day. So I'm pretty sure that whatever comment they said triggered this man to flip out on them for them to be gone. It had nothing to do with Umar didn't want no electricity at all from the first place. That Umar just wanted to get it so he can talk to detractors and tell the detractors, "Hey, I got electricity now. I can walk in school." Come on, make a change. It's bigger than that, man. No, that nigga wanted. He's thirsty. He wanted to hustle. Okay, folks, y'all got to say he want to hustle. That man wants a school open, even if it's just a jump, so he can hustle. He want to get that bread. That cash that money is not that serious, even on Umar's end right now. If he hasn't gotten any multi-million-dollar donation from celebrities, that cash app shit is just what it is. On his level, it's probably good, but it's not what he want on the level where he know he can get from that building. I told y'all that I was there when the senator, the Republican senator, the ex-senator came there and he was willing to go in and he wanted to buy the building. So it's like, why do he even have to play that game of rates? I'm gonna keep kissing these people ass on you on these internet streets to raise money when I can just sell the shit and begin a whole new process. So that's what I'm saying. We can't just be. That's why I said it's gonna sound like I'm a hypocrite. Remember I said at the beginning. That's why I said we can just always put out these certain things, you know what I'm saying, and talk these certain things, because these certain things don't really educate the people properly. That black man called the police on another black man because he owed that black man some money. That was just some complete confusion on that block. And so after I left the block, it had to been like some other confusion, because like I said, the roofer there, the roofer guy was there, the electricians was there, the other worker was there. The other worker had just left when the police came. He just dropped me off to the store, then he left. I was there. So you talk about all this staff was on this block. And this man calls the police on the staff that everybody knows working his ass off there, and they all confused. So the conversation on that block, like I said, the roofer guy, he just jetted. He saw that shit. He's like, what the fuck? When he saw the police, he's like, I'm out, man. This nigga crazy. He called, picked me up. You know what I'm saying? Took me to the train. I think he took me to the train station. Said that shit's fucked up. I'm gonna help you get your bread. That shit was crazy. Then he flip-flopped, but yet still, that's how it went down. So if that's how he felt, I would like to really know what the conversation was with the electrician man for them to get terminated. So for this man to start building up like a conspiracy. See, he's trying to make it seem like it's a conspiracy that the state of Delaware organizing behind the scene with the infrastructure of white people to hold back all contractors from the school. Well, if we go back, I'm gonna go back to the video because I want to go back to another time where he's also talking about the blueprints. Let's see if I can find the blueprints to talk. Let's see, folks.
Plans. But there's no way to know if that was him talking or the engineer talking through him. But nonetheless, that was the first roadblock, getting the plans. And getting the plans.
Damn, God. Oh my Lord, that was amazing. When I say what I just did was amazing, I don't know make a change video. I don't know. I don't have no paperwork written down because I was driving and listening to it. And so I just knew that was somewhere in the beginning. So I just hit it and then right on nose. All right, so he's talking about the first roadblock. Well, this is like really one of the first roadblocks. So the first roadblock was the blueprints. And I want to explain the blueprints. All right, but I'm gonna let him talk first, and I'm gonna break that shit down, folks.
Us until last spring trying to get some plans. Now remember, first we had to track down the original plans. We had to track down the original plans. I finally found the original architect who did the plans, so we got the plans. But I want to be honest with you guys, and I'm not being critical of the engineer, but he could have redesigned those plans.
All right, so where that's at right there is very important because that's the end of the beginning of the blueprints. So let's go to the blueprints, and I'll have to skim backwards. So I want to get to that right here. He's talking about the engineer. He could have just drew them up. He could have just redid it. So it probably would have cost like $10,000, $8,000, $5,000 for him to redraw the blueprints, as opposed to him having to go and search and pay all this money, then have to pay the engineer. Okay. So he He paid $20-some thousand for the blueprints, and he had to pay the engineer to redesign the blueprints. Now, I'm like, I don't know what type of person I don't know what race this engineer was, but let's just say he was a white person, right? And he's all part of the game. And now listen to the game that they did with him with this blueprints. Everybody was joking him. Now the whole black nation on these YouTube streets was joking him, clowning him about the blueprints. Now when I got there, one thing he showed me was the blueprints. He's like, yo, man, I got it. Yo, this is important. He was talking about it. He was very happy. I had to make sure, it didn't get messed up. People, was up in the front, like, yo, dude, why you got this thing right here? But that's before all these people start coming in. But then a lot of people come in. I had to move the blueprints. So then then the engineers, the electricians, they need the blueprints one day, but I had to go get them because I moved them. Because the blueprints were sitting at the front door when you walk in. It was getting dirty. And then we did a lot of different things there. I'm like, this shit ain't supposed to be sitting right here. Look how long it took you to get this motherfuckers. You just got sitting right here at the front door. And of course, what? $20-some thousand, man? So what I'm trying to tell you is that when it comes to those blueprints, listen to the fiasco that he had just obtaining these blueprints. Because, like he says, I got proof. This is my proof that they don't want the FDMG. You don't think they knew what the hell they was doing? Let's hear this shit. This was over a year ago.
Plans from scratch.
$20. Now he's saying it costs $25,000
for work right here. On the school, we saw the video of the new campus you guys have bought. So what are the next steps?
Yes, sir. As you know, we acquired the two schools on February the 7th of 2019. We had been held up all year, attorney, because we couldn't find the original design blueprint for the campus, which is still a mystery because the school was actually built from the ground not more than 10 years ago. So why can't we find the mechanical blueprint?
What's the word he used? Mystery. Okay, it's a mystery. So it's not a mystery, nigga. It is what it is. It's called territory. That's why I be laughing at a lot of people saying, yo, stop cooning around. Because just because the word don't be used don't mean that it's not being done. We are playing games. And this ain't no slap to white people. This is a slap on black people. We playing games. Because times has changed. And everybody wants territory right now. Everybody wants land. Everybody wants this respect, power, and to make their lives to matter in the spotlight. What makes you think we're the only one that's supposed to really have the spotlight if we really not shining? We shine all the time, no matter what. But if we're not really shining in the brightness that we're supposed to shine, people think that they can shine brighter. And they don't think they need an FDMG school in their territory. So behind the scenes, a lot of things will be done. That's technically by the book. He just had to go step by step to obtain the shit. They try to see how deep his pockets went. I remember one time I was driving in Virginia and get pulled over, and the cop have the tow truck come to tow my car. I told you the story. The tow truck dude, I get in the car with the tow truck guy, and we driving. So I'm like, where are we going with my car? He said, well, we'll take it to the pound. And then he's telling me about the company and telling me that the company drives all the way from VA all the way to Florida, VA all the way to New York. It don't matter. And so I'm like, word. So when we get there, they wasn't going to allow me to take my shit off the car. Now I'm in some old hick town in the woods, and I know they got guns back there. And I know the girls bust too. But I was like, yo, nah, this ain't going down this way. I said, yo, y'all brought my car here for no reason. I didn't want my car brought here. You didn't ask me why I wanted to bring it. Where you want to bring it? I said, I want you to bring it to my house. He said, well, you don't live out here. I said, that don't mean nothing. You drive anywhere. You didn't. So I'm like, I want you to take it to my house. He said, well, you live in New York. I said, I want you to take it to my house. Well, it's going to cost you $1,574.69. Well, here's the money. Take my shit the fuck down and drive my shit to New York. And so when you have the money, it's a shocker. And so then more stipulations have to go down because they're going by their rules and regulations of what they can do because they want to protect their land. As we should be wanting to protect our land as well from intruders. And to be honest, the way I look at the FDMG is a major intrusion. It's just, that's all it is. It's not really anything to give back to the community because it'd be given what it can give right now. It would have been given what it can, it would have been using all resources what it can do to give to that community right now. So it's not about giving, it's about how much it can rape. R-A-P-E, rape from that community. Rape from those women. Rape from the culture. That's what the FDMG is about. It's a molestation. And that's why all these stipulations are taking place in roadblocks because it's not divine. He's raping the African Stock Exchange Association Developed Corporation, the way I look at it. Because that man's not going to tell me that he don't know nothing of that organization. That man's not going to tell me he don't have a constitution. That man's not going to tell me that he didn't meet these people. That man's not going to tell me he's not trying to follow their blueprint. He's an intruder. I spoke to the vice president of the organization and others, and they said they donated to him. They said they went to his event. And more. So, like I say, he's an intruder. And I know it. I just wanted to eat. I had to skim off all my burntness of this turkey sausage. A lot of meat wasted. A lot of meat wasted. Very upset. Now my sandwich all thin. Look at this little piece of sandwich. It's missing that. Burnt up everything. But this is what we do to give you information in the times that we have to give. Some people have much more time than me. They can just sit there and sit there and dig up stuff and play and know the timestamps and really investigate and give you that real good, strong video and presentation. But in the world of me, there's a lot of things I have to be doing because I'm like a free man. And as a free man, you gotta stay occupied, otherwise you lose. And I ain't trying to lose. So thanks for all those people who really support it. Let's get back to this video. Always shout out to all those people who support it. I forgot to try and put the speaker on in this mic. I got my mic. I want to talk in my mic. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let's see if I take some time out real quick. That's all you got to do in life. Just take a little bit of time out, right? See, brand new, yo, brand new. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Come on.
Power on.
Power on.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. All right. This sounds whack. 1 2. Mic check. Let's see the roundness. Let's get the bass. See, you got echo. I ain't got time to play with this shit. So because I don't got time to play with it, it gets trashed. So we don't got time to play with that mic. But hopefully next time I have it situated and it sounds pretty decent. I don't know what it's gonna sound like, to be honest. It's probably just for really outside. I'm gonna get it situated though in the script, and hopefully we can make things sound real good. But I might even disappear from this shit, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm gonna do, especially after November 30th. I don't know if I'm going to be back here with you guys or just be back on another network. I might, you know what I'm saying? I might be switching my network. I don't know, folks, okay? So, just in case I do switch my network, I'll leave this live and I'm going to leave my email address and you can email me to get my new channel if you'd like to come to the new channel. Still got to figure it out, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm about to get back to this I ain't gonna do that shit right now. The bottom line is this.
Nonetheless, we finally caught up with the architect who did them, and so now they are in the hands of my architect in Wilmington, Black Architect, and so he now has to update the plans according to 2020 code.
Then on August 2nd of 2020, Umar Johnson stated he got the drawings and it cost $20,000.
Now, like once again, shout out to make a change for his diligent, his diligence in this whole story. He's really going in, and let's see the flip flopping because Umar said in record. I can't find that. I've been looking for it, but I just couldn't find it for some reason. The letter that he sent to the court of why he had to state his reasons of why he didn't pay me. And he said to the courts in paper, and his attorney said at this. So if he didn't say it, his attorney said it. That Don was a volunteer at the school. And that's why I'm like, that flip flopping don't work right there. You're gonna look real bad. But when you want to start, to the black people that there's a conspiracy with the state of Delaware against me, and there's a conspiracy with the state of Pennsylvania against me, and there's a conspiracy with this church against me, there's a conspiracy with this organization, there's a conspiracy with the 5% in New York, the gods and earths in New York, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, dude, is it a conspiracy? Or is it your challenge? Because you know what I'm saying, sometimes we meet the same type of female, the same type of guy, and you know what I'm saying, we go through the same thing, be like, oh, just like this person, just like that person, da 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 da. And then sometimes we don't even look at ourselves to see if it is us. But we always can say it's this and that and that. A lot of times when I meet a female, it's funny because they always want to say, "Oh, you remind me of somebody," and then that's when I know it's going to be a problem. Not you are who you are, but you remind me of someone. Maybe if you keep running to people that remind you of somebody that you had a baby with, or remind you of somebody that is your father figure, maybe it's time for you to start listening to men. You remind me of somebody. Who I remind you of? Oh, you remind my baby father. How many kids you have? 2 kids. Or you remind me. You remind me of somebody. Who? You remind me of my father. So a lot of times it'd be you. You gotta sit back and you gotta see what's going on. So that's the case with Umar. You got all this conspiracy around you with all these various different people, all these different groups of people, all these different races of people, genders of people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you on the end because you are wild. And you don't know how to bring it down on the level where it can be really truly respected. And that's why you're having all this, because your ego's too high. And so when you have the white people protecting their territory and they listen to what's going on with the black people and they listen to you, engineers, they have a lot of power. He learned. They can slow a lot of things down, huh? He learned. Let me go back to this real quick.
So they can put forth their bids for the project, which is interesting because in the video he did on May 4th, 2020, he stated he believed he found a group of people to do the work. In June of 2020, during a radio interview, Umar Johnson said the blueprints is now in the hands of his architect, and he now has to update the plans according to the 2020 code.
Can you give us a quick update on the school? We saw the video of the new campus you guys have bought. So what are the next steps?
Yes, sir. As you know, we acquired the 2 schools on February the 7th of 2019. We have been held up all year, attorney, because we couldn't find the original design blueprints for the campus, which is still a mystery because the school was actually built from the ground not more than 10 years ago. So why can't we find the mechanical blueprints? Nonetheless, we finally caught up with the architect who did them, and so now they are in the hands of my architect in Wilmington, Black Architect, and so he now has to update the plans according to 2020 code.
Then on August 2nd of 2020, Umar Johnson stated he got the drawings and it cost $20,000.
Good news is we got the drawings. All right. We got the drawings. $20,000 worth of work right here. $20,000. Architectural designs, plumbing, electric, mechanical, general contracting. Shout out to the donors. $20,000 worth of designs right here. We got the designs. That's the good news.
Then in a radio interview 7 days later, he said the blueprints cost $25,000.
Don't mind. I'm so focused on the mission.
That's right.
I picked up the architectural design. Cost us $25,000, but I finally got them done.
I wanted to go over what Umar Johnson said in the past about the blueprints because it will help put the audio we are going to listen to into perspective. I have seen several comments from people along the lines of why are blueprints required in order to renovate/repair the property. Well, let's listen to some.
Okay, so that's stage 1. Like I said, that was before me. That's before, not before, but that's before me at the FDMG. So he was already having issues with the blueprints, whether they couldn't find it, the school didn't have the old ones. He went down to the city, they couldn't find it because they would sound like runaround that it was being done from day one, because you acquired some land in people's territory that you wasn't supposed to be getting, and then you run around showboating, you run around. Think you King T'Challa, you run around thinking that you the prince of Delaware. and you haven't even done anything in Delaware. You understand? So when you look at it and you get all the way down to 2022, why wouldn't there be a cease and desist order? Why wouldn't they be looking at this court case that you got coming up in November and really wanting to go through? Why wouldn't they want to just keep allowing you to build your record and your resume in Delaware that you are a fraud to the education system? Why wouldn't they want that to happen? That's their land. That's their land. Who are you? Tell the people in Philadelphia what you've done in Pennsylvania. Because right now, everybody doing lectures. Everybody's is finding a topic and they talking about it. Yours just so happen to be education. So because the topic that you're speaking is education, that makes you the main man of the planet to go to speak, to listen to. You the voice, and you the voice of black people, because you are an orator on YouTube, and now you go out there and you do shows, and not shows, but you go out there and you do little talkings and sell to CDs, and now you're raising money. Now you want to open school, and you're supposed to be well respected. Show me the little boys. So it's not no conspiracy when it comes to this man. Even if it is a conspiracy against him, it's not a conspiracy when it comes to that man. And it's not about tearing the person down. It's not about anything. It's about building the person up, because we need to build his character up to be the character he needs to be if you want to be front liner. Because if you going out there and you're supposed to be the #1 black requested scholar, and they're giving you roadblocks, imagine the roadblocks they're going to give everyone else. They want to go out there for reparations. They coming. All these folks said they coming together for reparations. And then this dude saying, man, they clowns. Fuck them. It's about building institutions. I say all hands on deck on all levels. We need to build institutions, and F you pay me. F you, and it's not about reparations. Right about now, our movement is fuck you, pay me. That's the angle we're supposed to be at. Understand, there's a different level where we supposed right now, that group for reparations. See, that's just the word. But in my heart, in my mind, I would pray, all right, from my heart and my mind, that I'm right. That's the group that's going out there with the F you pay me attitude. And if they're going out there with the F you pay me attitude, I support that. If their attitude is F you pay me, I support that. You sending 80 million over to Ukraine, F you pay me. And if they keep building and building a certain type of momentum off of that, then we're looking at a bigger wave. And then on the other side of the seesaw, if we building institutions, it's F you, let's build. F you, we building over here. But right now we need all hands on deck. And every time we sit back and say, they stupid over there fighting for that, all you're doing is adding fuel to the ones who's not giving it, not to give it. Because as long as you don't have the full resistance, you don't have the full battle. And so therefore you won't get no results.
Some audio from February 7th of 2021.
Mehmet Oz and Republicans
My
want
bad,
you to
folks.
stay home. Don't let them take your power. Vote on or before November 8th.
Larry Krasner put this man back on the street to kill again. John Fetterman celebrated
Funny how they
Krasner's
did this.
deadly policy.
We have been struggling and pushing so hard to try to get the Honorable Marcus Garvey Elementary School and the Nat Turner Jean-Jacques Dessalines Gymnasium.
Yo, do y'all hear his voice? We're trying to get it ready. We're trying to get it fixed. But what, Umar?
Completed. And we've come up against roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. First roadblock was getting the plans, the school plans. We finally got the school plans. And to be honest with you, I don't think they were really necessary.
What?
That's the FDMG look. Remember I told you? Whenever you hear that it talks about the FDMG, that's the look. I'm about to talk on that. I ain't gonna say that, but I'm eating eggs. Yo, do you see that look? Make it change you funny as fuck.
And to be honest with you,
Just say, let's run that.
we finally got the school plans. And to be honest with you, I don't think they were really necessary.
Why, Umar?
Because the school simply needed to be repaired, not reconstructed. Only repaired. This was not a new construction project. It was a repair project. And now that I look back on it, that $25,000 plus that we spent on the engineering plans, I'm not too sure they were necessary.
So let's get this straight.
So now making change gonna make a. He's gonna say that Umar is making changes now, flip flopping, making. He's gonna say they went from 20,000 to 25,000, now 25 plus. Like I said, he said I was volunteering, but yet and still, he said he's gonna pay me my $3,000. What, yo? How many people like to volunteer and get paid $3,000? Let's volunteer. Let's do more volunteer work. I want to find somebody who's giving $3,000 for me to volunteer. But this dude say things and it's like he don't be paying attention. In regards to the blueprints, were they necessary and were they needed? Well, I don't know, but I just know that when the electricians, was doing the repairing of the wiring, when they was taking out the old wiring and putting the new wiring, I'll use your words, when they was repairing the wires, for some reason they need the blueprints. Now just imagine they didn't have those blueprints. The man already said that, it was things that was going on that was slowing it down. Just imagine they didn't have the blueprints then. So one other thing, I'm trying to let people know is that the electricians before I came to school. One of the reasons why I came to school was because the electricians that was at the school doing electrical work, they did not want to do no more work in that building because it was hard for them to move around. There was too much stuff in there. So understand that was a problem with Umar itself from the beginning. So remember I said he has issues with strong men. So they put that pressure on him, like, yo, I'm not gonna have my men up in this fucking place, risking their safety. No, you gotta get the shit cleaned the fuck up. And dude, he's the way he is, he's a strong blood, he's a strong dude. He's Delawarean, whatever how you say it. I killed fly. So he's not like weak individual. He's actually a strong, he a business black man. You know what I'm saying? So cool, but yeah, still you could tell him that he's not soft with his thinking. So he probably told Umar, and Umar had to run and do what he had to do. But Umar is a prideful type of man. Umar probably expecting the men to work in the dark and push that shit around. I need you to volunteer. I ain't got no time for this. Come on, folks. Come on, you're a black man. Help me out. So when he hit me up like, yo, I need you to come to school. He said, no, I don't need you, but yo, can you come to school and help me clear it out because the electricians are not going to do no more work. They halted the job until it gets clean. So when I got there, like a genie, it was all clean. They came up there, they smiled at me, they gave me that nod, they said, yo, thanks. And that was it. They was off to the races. They was off to the races. So my whole thing is like,
$5,000 plus that we spent on the engineering plans, I'm not too sure they were necessary.
So let's get this straight. He is saying he doesn't think the blueprints, the drawings that he said in May of 2020 was one of the reasons no renovation has been done was necessary. You also notice the cost of the blueprints has changed once again. First it was $20,000, then it was 20 blueprints that were not necessary. So he spent $25,000 plus on blueprints that were not necessary. But let's keep going.
However, I did have at least one contractor who previously constructed the school. He was the original contractor that originally designed the campus, the Moyer Academy campus. He told me he would need engineering plans, but there's no way to know if that was him talking or the engineer talking through him. But nonetheless, that was the first roadblock, getting the plans. And getting the plans took us until last spring trying to get some plans. Now remember, first, we had to track down the original plans. I finally found the original architect who did the plans. So we got the plans. But I want to be honest with you guys, and I'm not being critical of the engineer, but he could have redesigned those plans from scratch. And now in retrospect, I can see he didn't want to do that because he wanted to make his job as easy as possible on himself, not really caring about how much time was being lost by FDMG.
So this man, I want to know how old the man was. He's the one who designed the original plans, and I want to know how busy this man was. You had to track him down. You track him down, and then you come to him and say, "Hey, I got this project that's going on. I've been raising all this money, and I need you to help me with this the engineering project. And I need you to redesign this shit. I need you to and it's about this thing. I need you to redesign the entire building page by page and do it all by scratch. You can do it." Looking at my wrist, I don't have time right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the time to do that shit. You better get on your job and find it from the original thing. So my job is easy. This ain't no easy task. Like going, he'd be thinking things is really easy tasks. Like it's supposed to be 1, 2, 3. And he think that people are supposed to move with his urgency because he's coming. Because he's cooning around for the YouTube people. Because if he wasn't feeling some type of pressure from the YouTube streets, he wouldn't have been running around in the mean manner that he's running around and acting like a madman. People be respecting more if he was moving more calmly. But I think you guys got this man so possessed that he got so much demonic energy in him that he's spreading that energy to others, and they like, yo, whoa, fall back. This is the way you're gonna do it. And I'm gonna make a phone call, and we're gonna make this shit difficult because I don't like the way you fuck with me. I don't like the way you spoke to me. I don't like your energy. And so words go in, and so it's gonna be some difficulty because you need us. This is what you need, and you're not acting, giving that respect. What he saying?
See, he didn't want to do that because he wanted to make his job as easy as possible on himself, not really caring about how much time was being lost by FDMG.
So this man that you tracked down is supposed to be caring about the time that's being lost by FDMG. What time is being lost by FDMG that I'm supposed to be giving a fuck? I never donated to FDMG. I don't even know that. What the fuck is the FDMG? Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey. I don't got no kids I'm sending. I can care less about them kids going to school. So why am I supposed to care about the time that it's taking for you to get your paperwork together? How many times people said shit like that to me? But he's the film that people are supposed to be careful and caring towards him all the time. What the fuck did he think? Who's this contractor? Who's this engineer? I mean,
because he could have did them plans again. He could have just reconstructed them, but he wanted the originals to make his job easy. And to be honest with you, one day I need to look at the originals and I need to compare them to the new ones just to see how much he actually changed. Because to be honest, brothers and sisters, I don't believe he changed more than maybe 40% of the original design plan. If that.
And see, you want to start building like you think that the white engineers, and like I said, it's leading up to it, bro. This is leading up to it. But you think it's a conspiracy? Listen what you're saying. 40%, yo, look. 40% of this blueprint right here, like half is about right here. 40% would be this much. That much of change is a fucking lot. The pages was like, the blueprint. What, 24 by 36, something like that? What? I don't know if it was just that one school or if it was all the schools. I don't know. Okay, folks, I don't know if it was the blueprint for the entire school or all the schools or just that school itself. But 40%. I mean, who would want to have to make 100% changes on the blueprint, period? So you ungrateful that this man made 40% changes to your blueprint? And you pay for that? And you upset about that? Why would you want like 100% of the blueprint to be changed? But 40% of anything is actually a lot when you really look at it, when you talk about paperwork. Or are you just saying that out of the entire blueprint, he only just went through 40% of it and just changed 40% of what he went through, or he just only had to change 40% of the blueprint? You understand what I'm saying? It's like how you paint this picture. You paint it to confuse the people, to make the people feel like they supposed to be like feeling like someone's trying to get over you all the time. Here we go again. When you say he only changed 40%, what do you mean by that?
So again, that 20, because to be honest, brothers and sisters, I don't believe he changed more than maybe 40% of the original design plan, if that. So again.
So it's not, you said changed. Every single page, every single layout of that blueprint was supposed to be changed. I'm like confused. If I would go through this whole blueprint and I see that only 40% need to be changed, do that not make it 100% right? I'm just confused. But this is how people be trying to reach for shit.
Yeah, that $25,000, it shouldn't have been that much. Probably should have only been half that, especially given the fact that you went off the original plans. You didn't do them from scratch. You didn't do it from scratch. You went off the original plans, and you didn't have to change much. And you made me wait around for damn near a year looking for the originals because you didn't want to design from scratch.
So he's saying he paid for blueprints to be changed/updated, and he noticed the price changed once again. We are back to $25,000, but he didn't review the blueprints to see what was actually changed. He's not even sure what was actually changed. Now let's listen to the next reason.
Same thing I'm saying.
The renovations to the property has been delayed.
So once we got the plans, we started entertaining bids, right? So from about April, it may have been later than April, to be honest with you, when we got the plans, but just to say from April of 2020 until about September. So that's April, May, June, July, August. So 6 months we were trying to get the right contractors to do the job. I wanted to go with the original contractor who constructed the school in the beginning. So the school was originally different buildings. I think there was a Goodwill. I think the Frederick Douglass High School was once a Goodwill with some other buildings right next to it. And the Marcus Garvey side of the street, those were some other like row homes or something like that. So they took the existing buildings and reconstructed them into the school. And I met the original contractor who did the school from the ground, who reconstructed the buildings into what became the Moyer Academy and what is now the FDMG Academy. And I thought he was going to do the job. And I sent him the plans and everything, and I never heard back from him.
Here we go.
And so then I started speaking with other white contractors, and I never heard back from most of them either. And then I started speaking to white plumbers, never heard back from a white HVAC, never heard back from them. White electricians, never heard back from them. So I believe, brothers and sisters, that some sort of communication went out to all of the white tradesmen to not accept any work on the school. I believe that because there's no way that every single white contractor that came to look at the school never responded to me. None of them ever responded to me, not a single one. They came out, and then once they learned who I was and what the school was, I never heard back from them. You're talking about 1 to 2 dozen contractors. That's just too many people to not hear back from any. There seems to be something systematic going on with them. So
if we had to believe.
Once again, thanks for making a change for this content that you did, like a year ago, and I didn't even look at it. And so now as I'm, just looking at videos, and I see this video right here, I need y'all to, after I finish laughing, I need y'all to sit back and just analyze what he's saying. Because like I say, half of us can say, he's telling truth. And then half of us can be like, man, he's full of shit. But I'm saying that even if there's truth to that, it's only right when you look at territory. It's only right when you look at the time we living in now. It's only right when you look at this whole power structure. It's only right when you look at the fact that there's a group of people that's really not even trying to do much or nothing. So we're going to protect as much territory as possible because they're taking over all the land anyway, and they're not doing nothing with it. So when you look at all that and you put it all together, these white people going to definitely put up a roadblock for this dude. And if we're not strong enough to really fight it, all we can just do is hope that they put something in the community that's going to benefit the black people. Because obviously, we don't believe in that FDMG to be beneficial to the black community. Because the FDMG has been there for 3 years and it has shown no benefits to the black community of Wilmington. There's no way in life that there's a conspiracy without the person who's feeling there's a conspiracy against him to actually not think that they are doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? You there's no way in life you gotta sit back and say, what am I doing wrong for it to be such a conspiracy and everybody to conspire against me? So why is all the white contractors conspiring against you? Because you're a black man? But the Moore Academy was a black school, ran school too. So why is all these folks deciding that this is what they're going to do? It's because what type of black man you are. And obviously they've been paying attention. Obviously they've been paying attention. When I was speaking to the clerk, one of the clerks at the courthouse, when they called me up and I mentioned, do you know who Umar? I said, oh yeah, we know who Umar is. That's how I said, oh. And the way he said, oh yeah, we know who Umar is. So proof that the state of Delaware don't want Umar FDMG to exist is the fact that the FDMG was being ran by Dr. Umar Johnson. That's the reason why they don't want it to exist. If the FDMG was actually being ran and presented by, I'm gonna say Dr. Boyce Watkins. You know what I'm saying? It probably been received way differently. Even if a Boyce raised the money the same way, it'll be received differently. You gotta understand it's really you, because you be wilding out because you don't know how to just chill and fall back and do what you're best at. But you're good at also causing confrontation. You're great at that. So that's why it's hard for you to fall back from that, because you're great at that. Hour 37 minutes in. Wow, amazing. Amazing, folks.
Believe him, he's saying none of the white contractors. I find that interesting and hard to believe, and here's why. Between my personal home and my rental properties, I have worked with several contractors, and I have never had a contractor say, I am not going to work.
Now, this is what I was saying earlier about this right here, this context. This is why I don't like when everybody just be giving their little views on things. Make a change. This viewpoint right here is not strong enough for me, okay, bro? This is not a good enough viewpoint for me to co-sign and to say that, yeah, he's right, because it's two different breeds of men working on two different things. You pose no fucking threat, my Negro. You're not stopping no progression of anything. Maybe you are, I don't know, but I'm 90% sure that you're not. So you're not going to get the resistance that he would get. So don't go out there and just spread that type of shit.
With you because you are black. I did have one guy though that tried to try me. I was getting some new windows installed. I was paying cash and the job was a little over $9,000. He said he would have to pull my credit. I said, for what? My credit is excellent. However, I'm paying cash and I'm giving you a down payment. So there's really no reason for you to pull my credit. I had a pool built a couple months ago.
Now, that's my point. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you even had to, backpedal a little bit and recant on that, because you're like, well, but that's what I'm saying, dude. As long as we are black, we're always going to have some type of freaking barricade. That's why it sounds like I'm a hypocrite, because I don't just be slapping this cat all around the way y'all be wanting me to, and the way y'all think I should, because I know that no matter what, there's a world out there that's really against us no matter what, and all hands is really going to be on deck when it really comes down. It's whose hands really going to be needed. We have to decide. So no.
I paid cash, and the company did because the company had a friend that wanted to work with him. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm not buying a total of 24 white contractors was unwilling to work with him.
All right. Well, for the records, I don't know 24, 25, or 26, but I know when I was there in October of this year, of that year that he's talking, there was this white guy who came. There was two white guys who got seen there. Okay, one white guy we was in the big building, and I was dealing with the soot and the smoke and the with the fire. Okay, and so that contractor came through, but he came through, but we ain't hit him back. He was a dub. We dead to him. So they came through. It's not, you know what I'm saying? You could probably say like he done seen like 20 or 12 to 20 some white contractors. It's not necessarily saying that they all never really fell through, because like I said, that one came through, he just never hit him back. Then in this other school, there was another white contractor that came through, older guy, and I think he came in for the plumbing. I think he came in for the plumbing. But Umar said there was this black dude that he wanted to go with as well. So, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he hit him back. I'm pretty sure if he would have hit that white dude back for the plumbing, he probably got the shit all the way through already. Been done. But I'm like 90% sure he didn't hit that white dude back up. Unless he did hit him back up and the dude came in and did the job. So Umar's trying to paint a narrative to all those black power folks. So they hit the donation, feel bad for him, hit the donation and support him and feel bad and feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing that game.
Let's listen to the next reason the renovations have been delayed.
Right? You can only use the black ones. And then that's a problem because the black ones, many of them were so dishonest with their estimates, so undisciplined with their level of commitment to completing the job.
So, when I brought to his attention about the painters and that they was not giving their commitment to completing the job, because that painter was a yes master, and Umar thought that painter was good. Umar chose that painter over his own words. Listen to these words. This is why me and I beef, because of the painter. Look, listen.
It's just been, so undisciplined with their level of commitment to completing the job.
I told Umar that, they not here. He's wilding out. I already know that he's not coming in. This other guy's here, and he's want to get mad because I'm telling him there's a fucking spot right there, and he want to move the ladder. I'm like, why would you move the ladder to another location when there's a whole patch that need to be done right there? You can't see it though. I'm down here, I'm seeing it. And he want to get mad and he want to leave. And I'm telling you, this is what your paint is about. I had to go out there and paint the whole damn wall that make a change on this video. It's talk about. I had to go there and the whole spot that he's talking about. I painted that whole spot in. But this man talk about the commitment and things, and then when he has people that's letting him know that, because they're the eyes that he don't have, because he's not there. And so when the eyes is telling him something, his ears don't want to hear, because his heart is somewhere else, because his heart don't want to be where it's supposed to be, and is in the right place, because he thinks that everybody is wanting limelight, spotlight, and don't want to respect the fact that it's his building. Nigga, I'm trying to protect your building and protect the money. Next thing you know, the painter bringing back all this paint. Where the fuck this paint come from? Why this paint not inside here? So the painter gone, the electrician gone. I'm pretty sure the roofer ain't going back. Unless the roof was kissing his butt now. Yeah, I know, man. I know. So, yeah, thanks for that, bro. I ain't got no mods today, I guess. You know what I'm saying? They ain't doing the work. You know what I'm saying? They not getting rid of these cats. But not too many people be putting text in there. So I don't know what the live chat look like. Matter of fact, let me go to my phone and see what it look like. I know there's not people putting nothing in the chat. I don't see nothing coming in the chat except for a couple of stupid sex things. But the bottom line with this whole thing, Lone Star, is this man done messed up because, like I say, if he would have rectified the problem online and really got the people to fall back and become supportive of him, you already see Leonard Honors being pretty much supportive. You know what I'm saying? No matter how many videos Leonard putting out there, Leonard Honors is really supportive right now. Leonard Honors would just say, I support Umar. I mean, I support him and stop. I'm going to stop doing these bad videos because I need to start supporting him because I want him to do school. That's what he needed to say at this point. But all Umar had to do before he put these courts involved, he got the courts involved, he was supposed to rectify the problem. Before he even got the YouTube streets involved. I didn't get the YouTube. Yes, you did. Because you provided me the link that I needed to reach out to the people. It was the link that you sent me of the video, you know what I'm saying, that I allowed into the school. And from that link, I was able to reach out to the people I needed the link out to. Thanks, Umar. But if you would have cut that shit off a long time ago, and if you would have been focused the right way, and you would have handled your black men the right way, Black Man Rise, Original Rebel, if you would have handled your black men with brotherly love, the courts would not be involved, the cease and desist order would not be in place. You have a ton of soldiers behind you really renovating and taking care of the school on a whole nother level, and the school would have been open. I'm gonna tell y'all honest God truth, folks. This is from my heart. When I was inside the building, inside the school in 2020, I believed let me make sure because I'm rewinding my mind. Okay, because I remember when he had that situation with Lord Jamar. That was right before I came to school. I mean, that was that was right, that was really in between the time me talking to Umar. You know what I'm saying? And getting out there. Then he had that interview with Lord Jamar, then I went out there. But I still believe that's why I went out there, because I knew that he needed some hands on deck. Understand what I'm saying? I know he needs some hands on deck ASAP. And I know he needed these hands to be on deck because of the fact that the ship was sinking. But he could, with some people on deck, he really could have blasted off. And so as I was out there, I realized, that was a role. But then, what I'm saying, just being around, it's like, this man is going to sink his own ship because he's not doing it right. And by not doing it right means reaching out to the community and getting the community support. Because he needed more hands on deck at that spot. Because I didn't really know how bad it was sinking. Although it was really rising. That was the weird thing. So at that time when I was there, I really believed that the next year, because I knew the ship was sinking, but I knew that once I got on deck, if I could have did my role, I could have really got the ship to really just made it happen in the year 2021. So I believe that by my presence being there, I believe that 2021 was going to be a year that the school opened. I believe that we could have had that school open if he would have stayed focused with what he had and really operated with the team that he had. I believe that the school would have opened for that block party. But because all the distractions came on, because of what he was going to cause himself, it made it really spiral backwards a whole nother level. Contractors falling off, things on halt. Him spending extra money on things that he didn't need to spend money on. And the time off that he was taking from there definitely made sure that the school that wasn't going to open. So when you look at 2021 go by, so then if you say, Don, so what's the difference of 2022? Why the school didn't open in 2022? Well, because like I said, he had a situation going on with me. But if you took away that situation, like I said, the school would open. But once that situation took place, it was really a major halt, and it was a nervous spell on their group. They was very nervous. What gave them hope was the block party. The block party gave them a sense of hope. But you still sense the sense of desperation and stress still. You know it's there. Y'all know it's there. Because he's saying that God's willing the school will open up in 2024. It's not even saying it's going to open up. There's no confidence. Take away my court case. Why is no confidence? Take away Don M. Take away that whole court date that he has coming up. Take it away. Why is no real confidence? And it's because it's the proof that not just the state of Delaware, but there's every state itself has people in there that don't want the FDMG to exist. Okay? Every state in the country have people, just like you have to say that every state that saying you welcomed. Every state you have the people, not just one or two. You have people that don't want the FDMG to come around because they don't believe in it. So when you have your own people in every state that has that type of energy, the state itself must protect the people. So right now, white America, or should I say white Delaware, the white power structure, that's what I mean. Yes, the white power structure of Delaware and PA is protecting frivolous black people. It's protecting you. You're about to be protected from a wolf. He's a predator. And you're about to be protected. They're about to protect you. You're about to see something happen. You're about to be protected. He feels something's going to happen. That's why he don't have confidence. It was way back then, and you hear it now. He saw conspiracy, but it's not. It's just what it is. You had to. It's so. God bless you though. Just think about this. For 12 years, you've been taken care of by the people. I mean, you got your Social Security early. How about that, Umar?
It's been crazy. Blend with their level of commitment to completing the job. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. We just had to let the electrical contractor go because they had overcharged us.
Did y'all hear him? Now this is after me. So this interview is anywhere after November, December. This might be in December, January. Because he said we just had to let the contractors, the electrician go. Listen to how he sounds. Folks, did I ever sound like that when I was fucked up? Let me know. Mr. Cleanup Man, did you ever hear me in the video sounding like this?
It's been crazy. Blend with their level of commitment to completing the general ones. And then that's a problem because the black ones, many of them were so dishonest with their estimates, you know, so undisciplined with their level of commitment to completing the job. It's been crazy. Disciplined with their level of commitment to completing the job.
Does it ever sound? It's been real rough out here, and I just don't know what to do. And I was like, yo, look, this video right here is for Umar. Pay my money, man, because you really get me to a level where I'm ready. Folks, thanks for your listening ear, your support. If there's anyone who can help support, highly appreciate it. I'm in a situation I really don't want to be. Did you hear me? Like, yo, I'm like, yo, down to my last cash app, and it's just so scary because I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. Even when I was talking to T, and talked to the other dude, like in some like, yo, man, I'm stressed out. I really don't want to do this shit. I was frustrated, but I never ever sound like this. Not that I thought of. You know what I'm saying? I never thought I sound like this.
It's been crazy.
Umar sound like he's lying. You know why he sound like he's lying? Because the truth of the fact is that what he's really thinking about, damn, man, I fucked up. This shit's crazy, man. I violated and everybody, you know, no, I'm saying like this really, yo, this is crazy, yo. Damn, what am I do, folks? You gotta say me, hit the cash app. Ladies, my black queens out there, yo, don't you feel my pain right now? Yo, you know what I'm saying? These black men ain't shit. Look what these black men doing to me, black queens. That's what it sounds like. Why is she screaming? Lady just came and started screaming at this boy. I mean, it's about me. It's crazy. I'm sorry I had to pause. I'm just like, what she came and screaming? Mac video is not clear. Dr. Umar voice is auto. What the heck? Yo. What? Funny shit happens. Time to definitely get out. So that's the power move right now for 2023. Because I get barked at for little shit. It's crazy. Who's we talking about? Mac video is not clear. Voice is auto manipulated. I like that.
It's been crazy. It's completing the job, dishonest with their estimates. You know.
He said dishonest with the estimates. Now, even with the estimate, like, you know what I'm saying, there's this one kid, he was going there and he was doing the landscaping. So as he's doing the landscaping, he's doing the landscaping, and he gave Umar a quote for the back, which was a pretty decent quote. But I was like, you know what I'm saying, why are you really paying outside shit when you already have inside people? I'm supposed to have been doing that since 2019 before the kid. Why you calling me up and asking me, do I think he's overpricing you? You know what I'm saying? Why you calling me asking me, the person who should be doing it, asking me, do I think that this next person overpricing you? So then when I give him the price, like, yo, let me knock it out for this. And I'm at the school this working. And I already know the quote that this dude gave you. Yeah, now you owe me a whole lot more. It's not that with the quotes, it's just that you don't want to pay the people.
Oh, so undisciplined with their level of commitment to completing the job. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. We just had to let the electrical contractor go because they had overcharged us. So now we have to find another electrical contractor to finish the job because they were charging us 3 times as much as what the project should have costed.
How many people think that they was charging 3 times as much? One. How many people that think that he was being overcharged by the electricians? Because I was there for some weeks and the electricians was there doing work for some weeks. I never seen him come in and start making complaints about the price that he agreed. Don't you think he agreed for that price? So I'm trying to figure out. I never seen him come in there complaining about the price. He never spoke about them overcharging him. He never showed any signs of him not being satisfied with the price. He never even mentioned anything about the price. He was just happy, 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 happy. So for him to be sounding like this and saying this is extremely weird.
And it bothers me because everybody knows we're using the community's money. Now, I do want to say this, and someone brought this to my attention the other day. Part of the reason that the black contractors are trying to overcharge is because they listen to the haters on YouTube. And the haters have people thinking that I'm sitting on millions of dollars. Brothers and sisters, we have not eclipsed $1 million yet.
So look, if you saw about the black electricians, you know that that's in 2021. Okay. In 2016, he said that he raised $750,000. 5 years later, you're gonna tell me that he did not raise $250,000? Now it might sound like a lot of money, right? But remember the time, sometime last year, and somebody said, "Yo, he turned around into the cash app. And it was $15,000." I don't know if it was just $15,000 in his cash app or he raised $15,000. But you don't think that he was able to acquire $250,000 in the last 6 years? Now let's just take me, for example. No, let's just take a person who works at Taco Bell, and they work at Taco Bell, and then let's say they make throughout the course of the year they make $26,000, and they make that 6 years. 6 times 6 is 36, and then 6 times 20 is 120. So that's $156,000 that they just made at a job. Do we not think that he made over $1 million, or he didn't make over $1 million? Y'all want to hear that again? Hold on, one more time. Double Exposure said, weren't the YouTubers boasting that they were successful in slowing down his donations? I think that was during, like, before the buying of the school. I don't know, what was that after the buying? After the purchase of the school, that this donation slowed down. I know that when I was there, he said that the donations have slowed down. He said that the donations have slowed down during the stripper campaign. But everything kicked back in. And so you trying to tell me that ever since he bought the school in 2019, so for 2 years he didn't raise no money? And that's why I'm saying it's important when I do go to court, because from 2019 when you bought the school to 2021, or to this present day, when November 30th, 2022, from the day you purchased in February 7th or whatever in 2019 to this day, it's almost 4 years. How much revenue did you raise? Because this man just now said at that time in that interview, that was last year, that they ain't even, let me go back to it, they ain't even peak over $1 million yet.
Including any expenditure. I'm sitting on millions of dollars. Brothers and sisters, we have not eclipsed $1 million yet, not including any expenditures and expenses. We have not received $1 million in 6 years, not eclipsed $1 million yet, not including any expenditures and expenses.
I want to laugh. Did you hear what he said? Of course he received donations. No, he said we have not eclipsed $1 million, excluding all expenditures and expenses. So take away all that, take away all what we done spent on, we don't have $1 million. Let me make sure I'm not bugging the fuck out.
We have not received $1 million in 6 years, 9 months, and however many days. But the haters are $1 million yet, not including any people thinking that I'm sitting on millions of dollars. Brothers and sisters, we have not eclipsed $1 million yet, not including.
Okay, we have not eclipsed $1 million yet, not including
any expenditures and
expenses. And expenses. What do that? I'm retarded today. What do that mean? Double exposure. What do that mean? We didn't eclipse over $1 million, and that's not including. So in total, bro? In total. So like if I was doing an interview, I would say, so what do you consider expenses and
have not received $1 million and have not eclipsed $1 million yet, not including any expenditures and expenses. We have not received $1 million in 6 years, 9 months, and however many days. But the haters are putting out there that I've raised millions of dollars and I'm sitting on several million. So if you're thirsty,
I wish I had the video with Leonard Arnold with the breakdown. But I'm trying to figure out if you spent 150 plus on the HVAC, and you spent 20 plus on the blueprints. That's 175, and you spent another 60 plus. That's 230. That's like 240. Just 240,000 just on the HVAC, the blueprints, and electricity, right? And then 400,000 for the school, right? Let's really pocket watch for a second. What's the expenditures? What other expenditures were you talking about? Oh, the thousands of dollars that you paid for the board and backup, the reboarding of the school, the thousands of dollars that you paid for paint, and then next thing you know, you gotta do it all over again. Like, I mean, like, just repeating yourself, just the repeating, the repetitiveness, and then all the money that you go towards. It's not all coming from him, because you got people like Tiff picking up the bills as well. So you know what I'm saying, that's a great thing. Shout out to her. And that dinner was, it was actually alright. It wasn't really delicious. I was about to say it was delicious, but it was alright. You know what I'm saying? But I did appreciate that meal. Thanks for taking me out, Tiff. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's no way in life that the man did not raise over $1 million. Because if he already said he had $750,000, and he raised money for the HVAC from 2020 on to this present, to the 2022 when he bought it, how much more money did he raise? He had to raise a few $100,000. Block party is not cheap. He had to raise a few $100,000. Traveling around is not cheap. He had to raise a few $100,000. Investing in that book is not cheap. He had to raise a few $100,000. And even if he didn't raise it, he still had to make it from his end. So no matter what, it still had to be raised, and that money goes into it. That's not my personal money. No, how much money went to the FDMG? And that's the reason why it's proof that the state of Delaware and all other states don't want the FDMG, because he's a lying thief. He robs people, and he try and flip it and make people seem like he's being robbed. All right, I'm gonna play it again. All right, I got you. Hold on, my bad. Don't you say he had? Didn't you? Hold on. Didn't you say he had the money for the HVAC? Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, yo. So from the time of you speaking to me and saying that you had the money for the HVAC and everything, to this present day, how much money did you raise for you to say that you didn't raise over $1 million? Because if the HVAC is 140 some $100,000, did you how much more money did you raise for that? How much more money did you raise for the plumbing? Yes, and it's not me really trying to take him down. It's like I never looked at this video. You know what I'm saying? Exposure. I ain't checked this video out. I be blacking out a lot of times. I don't be looking at a lot of stuff. And something told me, yo, check his timeline, see what he got. And I checked, and I seen this, and so I'm really going and looking. I'm like, yo, hold the fuck up. And I'm listening to the words and putting everything together. I'm like, yo, y'all don't really know. $750,000 he said he had to me. I don't care what he said to the online people. He said to me personally that he had that in 2016. I said, yo, you should take that money and open up a little spots here, spot here, and run your little learning centers. And then when it's time for the election to come in 2020, those be your campaign sites to run for election. And that's how you get the real money to really do the things you got to do. Because these are your campaign sites. These are your learning centers. You already have it set up. Many people, they got to raise money to get it. You already have it set up. And so your campaign money goes towards these places. Put everything in place. And now you have a campaign that you run for election, but they already know you about the school. So now because you have the whole publicity of you campaign for election, now people just hitting that FDMG donation because they see that you're doing big things. Two different things. But you have to set the stage up. But no. So all that time goes by. 750,000. That's my overall point. I just sidetracked. My bad. 750,000. 750,000. 20. This was December. I'm gonna say about like December 29th, 30th. Sometime around then. Or maybe January. No, this was now January, because when we met up again, he was giving my money. It was in January. He said that he had the money. He had the money for the school. He had He got 750,000. He said this in January of 2017, the beginning. So 2017, 2018, 2019 to 2020, he raised no money, folks. Umar Johnson raised no money for the next 4 to 5 years, folks. When that HVAC money included in some, he said he had $750,000 for the school. This was in 2016. He didn't have the school at the time, so it was just $750,000. If he bought the school for $500,000, $600,000, you tell me that he never raised no more money? Because that was 2017. This is really making me sick, because he owed me money. So let me go back to this, because I'm about to end it soon. I gotta get ready to work.
It's the contractor. And you're hearing rumors that Dr. Umar has collected several $1 million.
Hold on, let me go back real quick.
You will. That I'm sitting on million that he costed. It's crazy. It's estimates, so undisciplined with their level of commitment to complete
What's he talking about?
Flawed policy. Guess what I did? It's impossible.
But let the black ones. And then that's a problem, because the black ones, many of them were so dishonest with their estimates, so undisciplined with their level of commitment to completing the job. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. We just had to let the electrical contractor go because they had overcharged us. So now we have to find another electrical contractor.
That's a lie. He didn't let them go because they overcharged him. They was working their job a long time. There was no friction about that. I never seen him arguing, talking, debating about the price. He's fucking lying.
To finish the job because they were charging us 3 times as much as what the project should have costed. And it bothers me because everybody knows we're using the community's money. Now, I do want to say this, and someone brought this to my attention the other day. Part of the reason that the black contractors are trying to overcharge is because they listen to the haters on YouTube. And the haters have people thinking that I'm sitting on millions of dollars. Brothers and sisters, we have not.
I'm sorry to stop there, but I ain't even gonna lie. If I'm not mistaken, when I was there and he told me about the price that he was paying to the contractor, I was like, yo, that's fucking way too much. I was like, that's a lot. Then I think I probably even asked him, like, yo, do you think they out? You know what I'm saying? What he's saying, I think he talked about me, because I know I said it. Like, you think they, you know what I'm saying, watching this shit and trying to get in your pockets? Okay? So it's like, now once you plant a little seed in his head, then he runs off it. But it wasn't like it was a seed in his head. He didn't think that off the rip. Like I said, I came there, I was checking on everybody. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, on everyone. I didn't like the price of that, period. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, that's a lot. But I don't know nothing about electricity. But I was like, damn, it's a lot. When he told me, I'm like, damn. What you pay? What? Damn, because I'm going pay this for this, pay that for that. I'm like, what the fuck? So that's the reason why every time I go there and I'm looking like, yo, they just up in the van. No. Why they in the van? But then it was funny how he would check me on me checking them, but then at the very end he sound like this.
Eclipsed $1 million yet, not including any
They were
expenditures and
overcharging.
expenses. We have not received $1 million in 6 years, 9 months, and however many days. But the haters are putting out there that I've raised millions of dollars and I'm sitting on several million. So if you're a thirsty contractor and you're hearing rumors that Dr. Umar has collected several $1 million, then of course you will, stroke up your estimates on repairs. So I think that might be part of the reason why the black contractors are overcharging us. And let me be clear, I only reached out to black contractors in the beginning. I only reached out to black contractors in the beginning. It was only when I realized that they were overcharging me, and I realized that many of them, some of them couldn't do the job. Some of them didn't want to do the job. Some of them didn't want to admit they didn't know how to do the job, or they either wanted to overcharge for the job.
My question is this. Oh, then again, I do know the answer, but I guess he couldn't open it. He couldn't go into the school when he first got it. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what, why in 2018 you didn't have a list of contractors that you was going to deal with? Why you didn't have a list of contractors? Why didn't you go live like, yo, I got a list of black contractors that I'm going to reach out to. I'm going to reach out to each and every one of them. I'm going to find the right price for you folks and get your money's worth. Why didn't you show us the list of contractors that you had on deck already? Why is it so hard to really just do the preparation that you need to do? Oh, I forgot, because you was traveling around too fucking much. That you just forgot to do your homework. Because you supposed to had 10. This was the homework. This is the assignment, okay? For the big school. For the big school. You learn from the small, this is assignment for big school. You know you got the big school, right? So right now, I want you to get your number 2 pencil, get your notebook pad, your composition notebook, your black one, the black and white one. Get your composition notebook and take down these notes. This is the aim for today. The aim is for me to learn from my mistakes from my little school. I forgot the name of that. The Marcus Garvey Academy. Frederick Douglass. Okay? I learned my mistake. I must now have 10 contractors in all these areas. I need a list of 10 electricians that I need to look into the school, because I still don't have them right now, that I'm going to work with for this big school. Whatever I did in the past is the past. I need a new list, so I don't have no complaints like this shit again. I want no more complaints like this again on my black people.
So
talk about black power.
Overcharging me, and I realized that I only reached out to black contractors in the beginning. It was only when I realized that they were overcharging me.
Listen to him, you fucking devil. Now I'm gonna prove that he's a devil. I'm gonna prove to you he's not good for society, for black society. I'm like I say, my mind just be spazzing, and it just like a nova went through my mind. You are on the air talking about your black men. Your black. I told you don't like black men. You are spilling beans about black contractors when you could have did your homework behind the scenes, where you don't even have to be trying to confide from the people that saying that black men ain't shit, because that's what you're trying to say. You're trying to paint the picture that black men in business ain't shit. We can't go to our black men in business. That's the pit. But if you'd have did your homework right behind the scenes, you could have did your straight up and down. What's that? Solomon. Paul Simon. Yeah, you could have did your Simon shit, and you could have behind the scene before we see these people on the stage, before we see them on the live stage. You could have did all your homework behind the scenes. You could have your 10 contractors, your 10 electricians, your 10 plumbers, your 10 HVAC people. You could have had your 10 carpenters, your 10 painters, your 10 roofers, your 10 security agencies, landscapers, and less than they're going to the whole teachers and everything else. You could already have that shit on deck. So you can already been given a review, not saying like overall in general we are fucked up, but you can have been given a personal review. Say, well, you know what? I had a list of these people, and out of all these people, this group right here had the best price. This group right here seemed like they was good, but I didn't think that they could do the job. And you could have been critiquing them right there and specifically talking about them, specifying who you wanted to talk about. But just generalizing makes me want to slap the fucking black off your face. Listen to him.
And I realized that many of them, some of them couldn't do the job. Some of them didn't want to do the job. Some of them didn't want to.
See, look, it's not about some of them. You supposed to have some of them already on file, and you supposed to went through some of them already, so that you can know which one of them you want to go with, so that you don't be online talk about all of them like all of them ain't shit when it's you. You ain't do your job. Fuck wrong with you coming out here acting like that, talking about black men ain't doing right, you motherfucker. Don actually right. I've done large scale project management. We usually have a go contractor and multiple. No, that's what I'm telling you, man. This is embarrassing. I'm black man, y'all. I don't know what y'all thinking. He's embarrassing me. I wish I had that money. Like I went to this program and like I keep notes. I mean, anytime I talk, this is all freestyle. I keep notes. You know what I'm saying? Keep notes because this is how you build yourself better. You know what I'm saying? Look, anger. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Look, you keep notes. This is how you build shit. You build stuff. You gotta build stuff. You gotta fill in these blanks to build it. You know what I'm saying? Executive summary, Umar. Okay, Umar. Okay, Umar. What's the objectives of the FDMG, Umar? Why we don't see this? What's the mission, Umar? What's this? Let's get it right for the camera. Let's get it right for the camera. Keys to success. Company summary. Ownership. History. Oh my God. Let's go. We want to see this next time, Umar. This is what we want to see. This is what we want to see. So before you go out there and you want to blast your black men, show us the list of people that of your contractors that you checked off and you did your summary of the price is too high and your breakdown before you go out there and try and manipulate the situation. Shout out to Make a Change with this video. I'm pissed off at that because I'm listening to it. Like I said, I'm just listening to it with you guys. And I'm just hearing it for how I'm hearing it. And it's like, show the list of contracts for what to. Show the list of contracts for what and to who. Show the list of contractors for what and to who. That's what you're saying? I'm going to say it again. If this is what you want to do.
They didn't know black contractors in the beginning. It was only when I only reached out to black contractors in the beginning. I only reached out to black contractors in the beginning. It was only when I realized that they were overcharging me, and I realized that many of them, some of them couldn't do the job, some of them didn't want to do the job, some of them didn't want to admit they.
What I'm saying, double exposure is like, before you go on and start talking and making history, because this is in archives now, do your homework. And then when you do your homework, you can, when you're doing this right here, you can say, I have a list of these. You don't even have to show it. You could have been talking to the person who you're doing the meeting, and you doing the meeting right now. You could be like, I have a list of contractors that I put together, and all these independent black contractors, and this is the evaluation I got on a person. But he's just lumping everybody as one, and it's just black contractors. And this makes black women not call black men who has their landscaping jobs. And that's why a lot of the Mexican people, yeah. All right. You gotta give me a second. I gotta move stuff. You gotta give me a second. All right. Fucking retard shit. So, like I say, folks, very important for us not to allow people to manipulate and swing you because they didn't do their work. For example, everybody's saying, "Oh, Don's on here online begging for money. He didn't go to court. I'm in court. Y'all only see dollar sign nothing. No, it's not what y'all thinking is what it really is, and I'm telling you what it is. Help was actually really needed, but yet still, I'm still strong to make it happen. And before me just keep kissing butt and keeping butt, I would say, yo, just keep it and go ahead. But I'm not gonna get on the airways and just say, yo, they stopped supporting me, and I'm saying, yo, they stopped supporting me because they flip floppers, and that's how it is. But yeah, he need to have that. I'm gonna have to sign this off real soon, folks, because I have to move this out because there's a person who got coming here. I'm just finding out right now that there's an electrician that's coming up in here. So if I wasn't here, then what was he gonna do? Just move all my shit around? I'm kind of tight about that. I could have known. Then I could have had all this stuff moved way earlier. I could have had this stuff all out the way, cleared out, so he can have space for him to operate. But now I have to do this in the time when I'm about to leave out to get my hustle on, and now I have to take time out, and I don't want to miss making my bread. So we're about to sign this off. I just want to see what you guys said before I bounce. I'm going to continue. Matter of fact, I'm going to continue this later on tonight around 8:30. I'll be back 8:30 to finish this up because I also want to go into this video too. I want to go into another video. I'm going to stay on Make a Change for a little bit. Shout out to Make a Change. I'm going to stay on you today, all right? Make a change. Yep. Let's see what we got down here. You know the project you are working on. During the planning process, you should know the contractor you plan to use for each stage and have backups. So thanks, Larry. You're going to double exposure. You see, we trying to just let you understand. You know what I'm saying? You should have that list. And so when he come out and start doing the talk, he should be able to say, "This is I have this contractor from this area of Delaware." Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know what he didn't know. He didn't know what he didn't know. Now he does moving forward. He didn't know what he didn't know. Now he does moving forward. Do he? No, but this is what I'm trying to tell you. You said the key thing. He didn't know, but he said he had a board. They didn't know. Okay, double. He said he had a board because the board decided that they was going to get rid of the contractors. So why are we saying he didn't know? They didn't know. They didn't know what they know now. Now they moving forward. He got bored. And I never had a problem with black contractors or any other demographics because they are evaluated before the project starts. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm about to tap out. Oh wow, you had some people hollering. You know what? I really appreciate y'all. The double exposure, he definitely is a line thief. And it's funny. You sound weird. You sound, you call him a line thief, but then you defend him at the same time. I want double. Matter of fact, next live, double exposure, please. And this is gonna be peaceful conversation. And I want double exposure, and I I want my man Larry Smith to come out. So the next live, I'm shouting out Double Exposure and Larry Smith. Please come to the podium. We would like to have a little discussion. I think this would be a great conversation for later on this topic right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to Rob Truth, Echo. Oh, there's an echo. Thanks, man. I didn't even see that shit. Damn. Oh, was that with the microphone shit? All right. I'm just trying to get y'all. He probably went with that electrician wanting to get the job done, and it became obvious they were taking advantage of him. You still listed contracts for what? What you say right here? Don, you said this in Umar. Don, you said this in Umar project is different because he was doing something. I want to. Don, you said this in Dr. Umar's project is different because he is doing something. So things are not of the norm or go as usual. No, I agree. But yet and still, this is a norm with him, with all the contractors. So that's why, you know what I'm saying, that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. This is just a norm with all the contractors. Look at me. Understand? So shout out to everybody on the chat. Once again, I'm calling Double Exposure. Come on deck tonight, please. I think I'm going to go live around 8. And I need Larry Smith. Come check me out. Please come on live. Come on deck. And anybody else who would like to tap in. We're going to have an open discussion. I just have to do something right now because I have a contractor outside who's an electrician who's about to do some electrical work up in the room. Peace.